We look at some of the friendships that have been made as part of the project too. Not very many people knew each other before they came on the project, but now there's lots of people that have got really close bonds, that talk to each other outside of the sessions, that work on music, that go out socially, etc. In fact, as an artistic team, we had to decide partway through the project that we needed to finish the sessions about 15-20 minutes early, because we knew how much people just wanted to talk to each other, and if they didn't have that chance to talk to each other at the end, then it'd get too late and they'd have to go home. So the fact that the group has gelled so well together has been really, really nice to see, especially when we see the places that some of them came from, where they were so anxious in social situations, so unwilling to share of themselves, to talk in front of a group or even on a one-to-one level. So the fact that people are talking more openly is lovely for us to see. And then another thing as well is the fact that members of the group, because of their newfound musical interest and enthusiasm, are widening out and looking for opportunities elsewhere too. So whether that's getting back into education, trying to find a place where they can pursue music more seriously, whether that's one young man that I was working with too, he has been actively trying to find people in his local community that he can make music with, which he would have never had the confidence to do before. So that is massively beneficial, and a huge step for all of these people that will hopefully stay with them for the rest of their lives. And thirdly, is the way that this project has impacted on people's individual mental health needs. Now this is sort of a little bit more difficult for us to track, and a little bit more difficult for us to tell how much of an impact that's having. And so Quench Arts have been really instrumental in making sure that this information is captured really, really well. So firstly, there's evaluation resources that have been set up that we use. So we do baseline forms at the beginning of the project and at the end of the project when we're working with a certain young person, and we ask them for information about how they feel at the time, based on their own confidence in themselves, on their perceived ability to work with other people, on their musical skills, on their mental well-being, their health and well-being, all of these things. They do them at the beginning and then they do them at the end to see if we can track any kind of progress. So that's one way. Anecdotally, also we can pick up on how this project has helped certain people with their mental health. So we hear stories from the individuals themselves. We hear time and time again things like, I never would have done this before Wavelength. I would have been far too anxious to be in this group of people. I would have never performed in front of other people. So that's really nice to hear. We've also got the great position of having a really good relationship with all of the parents on the project. So the parents are quite often in the sessions with us. We talk to the parents quite a lot about the progress that their child is making, and they give us some really good information too on how it's benefiting the individual child, and they can tell us how it's affecting them outside of the sessions as well as what we see just in our weekly sessions too. I think it helps in very specific ways really, linked in with the sort of social aspect that we talked about. The fact that they're picking up these new skills means that there's a much reduced anxiety level in the room to what there was initially on the project. Things are a lot more relaxed. You can see individual people are just being able to settle back a little bit rather than being completely on edge as they often are when they first come into the room. So that's really, really nice to see. And from what we've heard, that again is something that carries through to other parts of their life too. Just simple things as well, about it being something positive for these young people to focus on, to give them a level of structure, and to give them an environment where somebody is saying, you're great, you're doing really, really well, you've got a massive talent and it's great that you're using it. That's really positive for people's journeys too. But I think probably the most important way that these young people are progressing and are going on a journey in terms of their mental health is the fact that they're able to express themselves in a way that maybe they wouldn't feel comfortable doing in another setting. So the fact that we spend so long writing music, the fact that we spend so long writing lyrics, giving those young people an opportunity to express how they feel about themselves, about other people, about how people deal with them, about the world in general, about relationships, about what they find easy or what they find difficult, or what makes them happy or what makes them sad. I've always thought that when people are songwriting, it's easier for them to talk about often very deep-rooted feelings and emotions that will be very difficult to talk about in another setting. And so to be able to get those thoughts and those feelings off their chest in that kind of environment, and actually turn sometimes quite negative thoughts into something very positive, is a huge benefit to this project, and something that really helps to take people on a journey. So the project really has been a success, both in terms of mental health, in terms of social improvements, in terms of musical progression. Wavelength has really benefited every single person that's been a part of it for the last 3 years.